to the AAA MF YouTube channel. I have been in sunny Florida for the last 6 weeks, and now we're back in the UK and it's freezing cold, but we have the sun out and we have two very special cars to film. I'm going to start a new series on my YouTube channel, What Could You Buy For? And the two that make the shortlist are the Audi R8 V10 Spyder, and to compare it against the Porsche 911 Carrera S Cabriolet. But before we start, today's video has been kindly sponsored by Mr. Darren Gibson. Let's introduce him. Darren, welcome to the channel.
Hey Mark.
I think you've been on the channel before.
Indeed.
Indeed. You've been behind the scenes in lots of videos that we've done.
Indeed.
So Darren is a specialist in car finance. Why don't you tell people what you do, exactly what you do?
Absolutely. So I'm an independent specialist car finance broker. I can fund any car from any source that's new or used. If you're in a dealership buying a new car, you don't have to necessarily take the finance offer that the dealerships will try to give you.
And is it from a certain price point?
Generally, the car needs to be a minimum of £30,000, and that can be right up to anything up to £5 million.
And it can be anything old or new?
Old or new.
And how do you beat the dealers then?
Generally, we can beat them not only on price. Generally, even if we match the APRs, we can generally get you a much better monthly price on the vehicle, and that comes down to the balloon for the vehicle. I can do PCPs, lease purchase with balloon, hire purchase, and all forms of vehicle finance.
So there you go. Go to Darren. We're going to put his Instagram there. And are you going to start a YouTube channel soon?
No, absolutely not. I'll leave that to the experts. Yeah.
Okay, you can go now. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks very much, Darren.
You're welcome.
So Darren works behind the scenes with lots and lots of supercar owners. Great guy. Today we're going to look at the best sports cabriolet you can buy with a dual clutch gearbox for under £100,000. Scrolling through the ads, there are plenty of R8 V10 Spyders from £80,000 upwards, and you can even buy the V10 Plus model for under £100,000. The Porsche has just dropped below £100,000 for either the Carrera or the Carrera S Cabriolet. So this is not my first time in the new 992. I've driven the new model at Millbrook, courtesy of Porsche. And the one thing I noticed at the time was that it was very quiet. However, the new dash is a huge improvement over previous models. They've completely rethought how the interior should look. They've got this beautiful dash right in the center console, which is one of the nicest center consoles I've seen in a car. It just fits in perfectly. We've got a few different modes to choose from. We've got normal, and let's turn it into sport. Yeah, you can feel the immediate pickup in sport. And then you've got Sport Plus, and it gets a little bit louder. All these new cars are very quiet. That's something you're just gonna have to get used to, unfortunately. Obviously you can get an aftermarket exhaust, and most people that have ordered the 718 Spyder and GT4 are looking at aftermarket exhausts. Same with this car. If you're used to that lovely air-cooled 911 or the burble of the old cars, it's gone. It's gone. But it feels almost like a different car. It feels a lot more grown up. I think the design of this though is incredible at the back. I love the back. Every time I see one of these, I take a second glance, especially at night. Although it's sunny out, it's absolutely freezing, and I'm not sure you're going to be able to hear me very well, so I'm going to put the roof up, and we're doing 30 miles an hour and the roof goes up, which is pretty cool. This has a 3-litre flat 6 engine twin turbo. It's pumping out just under 450 brake horsepower, and it feels very spirited. It doesn't have that grunt that you get from the GT3 engine. It's a much smoother power delivery, but it's fast. wow, it's fast. Whoa, whoa. I wasn't expecting that. So I'm in Sport Plus and I did kickdown and it really took off, This feels really planted, really compliant, really smooth ride. It feels nothing like Porsches of previous models. So I've already driven the Audi R8 V10 Plus. I used to have a coupe version of that, and I had that for 5 months, and the engine on that was absolutely incredible. But now you've got the roof down, which adds a lot more excitement to any car, in my opinion, especially when you can hear that V10. Now the V10 doesn't sound as loud as the V10 Plus, but it sounds a lot better than that Porsche. You can actually hear the engine. You can't really hear the engine in the Porsche. I think both cars actually look great. The Porsche has a really nice design at the back, which I really love, and I think this one looks really great with the roof down and the roof up. Wow. Naturally aspirated V10 engine, pretty hard to beat. The steering is really sharp. It's so much more exciting to drive than the Porsche. I mean, the Porsche just doesn't feel like a supercar. This does. And this looks like a supercar as well. They both look good, but I think this has the edge. But obviously that's subjective and down to you guys. But you can't deny that that V10 engine is just a masterpiece. And having the roof down adds a whole nother dimension to the car. It's going to be interesting to see how long Audi can continue with a naturally aspirated engine. Most car manufacturers are moving towards turbocharging now. That engine, oh, you just never get tired of hearing that V10. Listen to it. Again, extremely fast pickup, as you'd expect. Completely different power delivery to the Porsche, much more exciting. Audi R8, when it came out, was really a game changer for Audi. They really brought a car to the market that competed with not only Porsche, but in my opinion, Ferrari and Lamborghini. And people saw the Audi R8 as an alternative to the Lamborghini. Whether you could afford it or not, this was a car that maybe wasn't as flash as the Lamborghini, but still had the same pedigree, the same build quality, and shared the same engine. Okay, so we've driven both cars now. The Porsche looks beautiful, very refined, very comfortable. I love the new dash. Massive improvement over the old models, massive improvement. But it doesn't feel like a Porsche anymore. It feels like a BMW, a nice BMW, but it feels like a BMW. It's lost that kind of sporty edge. I mean, if you've driven a 993 Porsche, it feels incredible. It feels really involving. These cars don't feel involving anymore. They drive themselves. Doesn't mean it's a bad car. What it means is it's for a different type of person driving the car, different market, in my opinion. If you're used to something that's more involving and something sporty, you're going to love this. I mean, just look at it. It looks absolutely sensational. And I had a V10 Plus Coupe, and I didn't fall in love with it, but I could definitely fall in love with this, because when you've got the roof down, it's so much more exciting to drive, and you hear that V10. That V10 engine is intoxicating. It's addictive, and I love it, and I think I want another one. Anyone that says that a Lamborghini and this are the same is utter rubbish. I've had both. The Lamborghini is much more exciting, but it's double the money, so it depends how much you want to spend on a car. But for the money, this car, you can get these for under £90,000. I think it's absolutely amazing value. I can't think of anything else that's got a PDK gearbox that is as good as that. I still love my Boxster Spyder. Would I change my Boxster Spyder for that? No. The Boxster Spyder, for me, I think it looks better, it looks classy, it's got the manual gearbox, and it actually even sounds, I think, even better than the V10, believe it or not. What I think Audi have done is tone down this engine so that the Lamborghini engine can sound better, because the Lamborghini engine in my Performante Spyder sounded better than that. So I think they've done it on purpose. The Boxster Spyder sounds really, really incredible. If you haven't been in one, try one. Anyway, I want to thank Nathan for lending me the keys to his 911. Really lovely car. I do believe he bought it for his wife, so maybe that tells you something. And the R8, my friend John just picked this up, so thank you for letting me drive this. I think if you're looking for a Cabriolet with a dual clutch gearbox, this is the one to buy. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, follow me on Instagram and YouTube, and we'll be back soon with some more car reviews.